Hello and welcome. Today I will explain the basics on the Konosuba tabletop role-playing game, or TTRPG for short. But what does that mean? The players will have sheets, much like this for their characters they will be playing as. Meanwhile the game master explains and helps immerse the players in their world. If you found this video without knowing this, honestly, how? For the rolls we will be using 6-sided dice. The number of them is normally 2, but that can change depending on skills. Then you add any modifier appropriate, so you add strength if the game master says so. In this video we will cover the stats as they are the simplest but one of the most important parts of your character. Each stat has 2 values, base ability score and ability score. The difference. Base is the exact number, this is the one race decides and we improve as we level up. However, ability score is based on the base, it is your base ability score divided by 3, rounding down of course, no sneaking in allowed. Now with that explained, let's go on to our first stat, strength. Strength does 2 things. The base adds to your HP every level, including your first level, making you more tanky. However, it also uses its ability score in movement, adding 5 to it. To put movement simply, this is how many spaces you can move in a turn, so the more movement, the more spaces you move. However, each stat also works for checks. For example, strength will be what you expect, such as lifting heavy objects or suplexing that goblin who won't stop laughing at you. Next is dexterity, which uses its ability score for hit checks, so how well you can hit with your weapons. It also is put in a special check for disarm traps. This is what you would expect. These are only special because skills can affect them later on. Lastly, the dexterity skill is used for your reflexes, such as grabbing a fast-moving object, or how fast you can grab the goblin to suplex it. Now agility, this is used for dodge checks, which to put it simply, if you are attacked, you roll a dodge check. If you beat them, congratulations, no damage for you. If you fail, well, let's hope your defense is high enough. It also is used for action points along with perception. This acts as when you will go in combat, so if you want to kill everything first, maybe put this high. Lastly, for checks, agility is more how acrobatic you are, so how well you can do a backflip, or how well you can dodge the goblin's counter-attacks to suplex it again. Next up is intelligence. This is your magic stat for all you magic users. It uses its ability score for magic checks, which are hit checks for magic, or identifying enemies. Which is useful as most smart people can use this information to kill the enemy faster than hitting it until it stops moving, even if that is still an effective strategy. Lastly, for checks, it is what you expect, how well you can remember what happened to that poor goblin, or if you can tell what type of magic someone just threw at your face. Now for perception, this is again, pretty self-explanatory. Its ability score is used like I mentioned before, for ability points, your order in combat, but also your ability to detect traps and sense threats. So basically how good you are at telling if your game master would really just give you an empty hole in a dungeon. Not today, game master. Oh, and also what you would expect for checks, using your eyes, ears, taste, perceiving stuff. But how about mind? Well, it is similar to strength actually. You add its base ability score to your mana each level. Again, yes, the starting level counts, so a lot of yummy mana for your spells and skills. However, it also affects your magic defense, which to put it simply, if you get hit by a magical attack, you take your magic defense away from it. So if you take 3 magic damage and have 2 magical defense, you just take 1 damage. Then for checks, it is like your mental strength, but also your awkwardness, being used for tolerating insults or how well you can pick up that random adventurer across the bar. No, not actually pick up, that's strength. Lastly is luck, which is what you would expect. Luck is only used for checks, such as if an item is in stock, or if you run into a friend somehow, or what loot you get from those pesky goblins. However, it is also used on your death save, which basically is when you go to 0 horsepower, you make a death save. If you fail, you die. If you succeed, you go to 1 horsepower instead, so probably don't simp on this one if your game master seems to like murder. Join me next time as I cover races.